Welcome everyone, the Whiskey Cops are back, and today we're going to compare two very unique bourbons, actually. We're going to compare two different versions of Knob Creek here. Boom. And what one do you have over there?
So this is the Cask Strength 9-year.
Cask Strength 9-year, and then right here we have the Single Barrel Reserve 9-year, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll see the difference here as well. Obviously, we always recommend you drink responsibly. And we only recommend drinking if you are of age. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it. So, you bought yours. How long ago did you get yours?
I got mine approximately 2 months ago, so relatively new addition to the shelf.
I think that I'm about in there as well when I got mine.
Perfect.
So yeah, I haven't opened this yet, and neither of us have tried this one. So
Nope.
We're both going to try this one out and kind of compare it a little bit. So. Yeah, you can see it's unopened. I am going to open this one here as well here in a second. But I paid MSRP for mine. The MSRP for mine is $64.95. That's what I paid for it. So I'm hoping that was worthwhile. I know it's a little bit, in terms of bourbon, maybe a touch on the higher end, but you know, not crazy.
Sure.
And then what did you end up paying for yours?
So for mine, this is a single barrel pick. It's through a grocery store called QFC in our area. Typically speaking, these are about $70 on MSRP.
Yep.
So if you do a barrel pick program and you get the Cask Strength, I think just dropped this year. I think it's a 2025 new thing that they're releasing is the Cask Strength option. Whereas this single barrel, even though it's incredibly close in proof points, has had water add to it. This one has not. I'm not going to bury lead any longer. I got mine for $32.99.
Just
Which
crazy.
Is, right, half as much as you would think. And it was kind of this forgotten bar cart in the liquor store section, or liquor section of the grocery store that I was in. There was like 3 left, and I was like, shoot, cool. I'll grab that. That's new. And then it rang up as, I think it was close to, $32.99. So, Knob Creek, they do weird things with their pricing. So if you happen to come upon it at a weird price point, believe it. Bring it up the register. If it is what it says, you could be walking away with a steal.
Yep. And that's why we always recommend, too, doing some research before you go out, and if you're looking for especially something specific. And you can always Google MSRP while you're out and about as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, I paid for this one, because this one they didn't have very many bottles on there. And, I mean, I'm a sucker for a high-proof single barrel. So I'm a sucker for that. So I got it. I don't regret it. But if you see either of these bottles out there for $30, $40, you should buy them. I don't even know what this tastes like yet, but I would say that you should buy it for $30 or $40. Yeah. But soon we'll be able to tell you, unless it tastes terrible, which I don't think is going to be the case with Knob Creek. Yeah, they're very well known, very reputable, so it should be good.
For this Cask Strength, I will say it was barreled on September 9th, 2015, and it was dumped on May 29th, 2025. So about 9 years and 8 months at 121.4 proof. So that's what we're working with on this one.
This one is 120 proof. So that's what we're working with this one. This one have a touch of the water added.
Yeah.
But I think it'll still be... It's interesting. The colors look, if I think about them, the colors look, I mean, very, very similar, you know?
Yeah.
We're in a very well-lit room right now, so like we can see pretty well. Very similar. So I'll be kind of curious to see.
Yeah.
What kind of flavor notes should we expect in these guys?
So it's a Beam product, right? It says Knob Creek on it, but it is parent company Jim Beam. So there's going to be a nuttiness to it. That nuttiness can manifest itself in different ways. Sometimes it can taste like peanuts. Sometimes it can taste more specifically like peanut shell. Yeah, you can just differentiate between those two sometimes. Sometimes it's peanut butter. Sometimes it's a sweeter peanut brittle. It's hard to say. With it being a little bit higher proof and it being costing what it was, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a little bit of a stronger oak presence, right? For it to be 9 years old, Cask Strength, I'm thinking that there's going to be some oak. I'm curious if it's going to be oak in like a stringent, sharp cutting kind of way, or if it's going to be like a sweet oak presence. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but definitely some nuttiness, some vanilla would be my guess. That's typical Jim Beam classic flavors, and anything else will be just kind of a nice bonus.
Okay, well, let's dig into them. How should we do this?
Why don't we go? So in theory, you want to start lighter and work your way up, even though it's only.
So we'll start lighter.
Yeah.
So let's open this bad boy up. We'll start lighter here.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if I can open it, there we go. You just got to pull it the right direction. That's what I recommend to our viewers as well. If you pull it the right direction, you'll actually open it. I'm actually not, it's not going well. I knew this would happen if I tried to open it on camera. I should have opened it off camera, but I knew that would happen. It actually went pretty well, quite honestly.
So full confession hour, if we're going to be a little confessional here. The first time I bought a Knob Creek, I YouTubed how to open it.
Really?
I really did.
Really?
I'm not proud of it, but I did.
It's okay. And you've been collecting bourbon for how many years?
5 years.
Where in that journey did you buy your first Knob Creek?
Man, I stayed away from Knob Creek for a long time, actually.
Really?
Yeah, not for any particular reason. I think I was about halfway through, about 2.5 years in.
Okay.
And I was just like, I don't want to mess this up because it looks fancy.
That's fair.
Right? I could get out the box cutter and do it that way, but I have a feeling that they're smarter than that. And thankfully, a YouTube video showed me they sure were. I just wasn't that smart myself.
That's okay. You learn.
Yeah.
And he's been collecting for 5 years. I've been collecting for about 3 years. Between the two of us, we have a couple hundred bottles. Yeah.
There we go. Look at that.
There we go. Okay. Set that guy down over here.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It looks a little lighter now that we're outside of the bottle.
It does.
It's a little lighter than I thought it'd be. But it's a lot darker than you'd see in like a 90, 100 proof for sure. Maybe not a lot darker, but a little bit darker.
Legs are on there. Yep. A little swirly swirl. That smells great.
It does smell
amazing.
good. It does smell good. By the way, if you just saw a weird edit, it's because there may have been an interruption in the form of a cat.
Yes.
But it's okay. That happens when you record in your house.
I wouldn't call it unwanted touching. It was kind of,
Yeah. So it wasn't an assault.
It was not an assault. No.
Per se.
Yes.
But yeah.
Wouldn't be pressing charges.
The legs look great on this.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm getting vanilla and like really good, solid vanilla bean vanilla. Vanilla can represent itself different ways. This is vanilla bean, and I am here for it. It is really nice.
I feel like you can almost, at least for me, maybe you can almost smell a little bit of the oakiness too.
Yes.
Like I smell that, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
It's kind of nice though, because I've drinking enough bourbons where I'm not gonna be surprised by an oak flavor, but
no,
it's enough that it's like, okay, hey, when you drink me, you're gonna taste a little bit of oakiness.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say on the peanut side, it's there. I'm happy to report that I think it's more the peanut brittle side of things, though. Maybe some stone fruits, like a little overripe peach, where the flavor starts to turn just a little bit, and it starts to get a little brown on the peach.
Yeah.
Oh man, some nougat, and that could just be a variation of the vanilla, but like nougat, like a Babe Ruth. Halloween, right? 'Tis the season, right? I've had a lot of Babe Ruths. Did I go knock on those doors and say trick or treat?
I hope
sure
not.
as heck did
I hope not.
But did I supervise and keep the kids safe that did? Yes. Do I deserve some of those candies?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
So I know what nougat tastes like. It's reasonably good on my palate. There's some nougat on this.
And I will say this as well. For an 120 proof, I mean, it doesn't smell like 120 proof.
No.
It smells way smoother than that.
It does.
Because normally for like an 120 proof, like there'll be, I want to say like a strong, not bad, but you have that strong alcohol overtone to it.
Yeah,
but you just don't.
Ethanol.
Exactly. Yeah. You'll kind of get that coming off of it, but I just don't get that with this.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Yeah, normally something 120 proof or higher, like I put the nose in my glass, I bring it down, I'm down a few nose hairs. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like burning.
It's burned, yeah. But you just don't get that. Like it's honestly like that alcohol smell is more of what I would consider for like a 90 proof.
100%. Should we put this thing on our tongue?
Let's do it. Taste? Cheers.
Cheers. There's our heat.
Yeah, I would say for what it smelled like, it hit harder than it smelled like it was gonna hit. It's good. Don't get me wrong.
So, if you couldn't tell from the change in my voice and my facial expressions, I 100% agree. There's some heat on that. I also think all we've had today is 90 and 100 proof liquor.
Yep.
This is our first close to barrel strength liquor of the day.
Yep.
It was not so hot as to completely obscure the other flavors. That did not present itself on the nose. So it caught me off guard a little bit. It's also freshly cracked though. We let this thing sit open for a few months. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets tamed way down.
Yeah, because you'll have some of that some of that hit kind of start to come up.
Yes, the air in the bottle is going to oxidize a little bit. The ethanol is going to burn off, and it'll be a little bit smoother. It still had some of those flavors, but honestly, the overall impact was, wow, there's some fire in that water. So let me go back for another sip here.
I'll say second sip a lot better.
Second sip a lot better?
A lot better for me because the shock was done. The shock hit, and then I was able to pick up a lot more flavor in the second sip.
Yes, agreed. So the my tongue is on fire sensation has now been replaced, still with a heat to it, but it's more like baking spices heat.
Yep.
Like cinnamon, like a red hot cinnamon candy. Again, filmed this by Halloween. Had some of those, or honestly some cardamom. A little bit of a bougier spice, but I get some cardamom on that for sure. The vanilla bean is still very, very, very much present. That hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, you still get that vanilla. The vanilla overtones are definitely still in there, which is great. That's what you want and you expect.
The oak is definitely coming through more on the finish for me.
Yep.
I'm feeling it kind of at the back of the throat towards the end of the sip as I just kind of sit here. That oak, a little bit of tobacco, like tobacco leaf on there, is present. That earthiness kind of comes through in the finish, which is fine. I'm not a huge fan of when earthiness is on the front palate. When I get those earthy notes on the front palate.
Yeah.
But I think it does a really great job anchoring a sip when it's on the back end, and that's what I'm finding here.
Yep. I would also say with this too, if and just in general, this would be one I like to. I'm not a cigar expert. I also want to preface that by saying I'm not a cigar expert, but this would be a really good one. I do enjoy cigars.
Yeah.
This would be a really good one to have a cigar with.
I would love to have that pairing.
Yeah, I think that would be perfect. I think this would be a perfect one to have a cigar with. If you're a cigar smoker, this is a good one to have with a cigar. And in general, I think when I have cigars, like I think you want to shoot for at least 100 proof or higher if you're having cigars. I think the higher proof kind of helps complement that a little bit better as well. Because then too, if you're sipping on a bourbon and then having then you smoke a little of your cigar, I think that they kind of both are backwards and forwards cleansing each other, so you get the full effect of both flavors as well, and they just kind of really complement each other really well.
Yeah.
But I will say, after smelling it and smelling some of that oakiness, there's less oak than I expected.
Okay.
At least for me.
Yeah.
At least for me. I think there's less oak than I expected.
I would agree with that.
But I also think, as we talked about, this is freshly cracked. I think over time, some of that will come out a little bit more.
I think so. And what I would say is that I am picking up, I think now I'm on my third sip here, a slight herbalness in the beginning in the form of dill.
Interesting. Okay.
In the form of dill. It's not a prominent note. If you're like, man, I hate dill, I hate pickles, whatever, you can still enjoy this bourbon. That's not going to exclude you. It's not mutually exclusive. But as I got it, I get that every once in a while is a dill flavor on Jim Beam. Not every time, but I get it just a little bit. But it really goes back and forth with the vanilla, and it just adds a layer of intrigue.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you told me, like, here, sip this bourbon, it tastes like dill, I'd be like, I'm not excited at all.
No, that sounds terrible.
Sounds terrible. But
because you start to think of like the overpowering, like the sour pickle flavor kind of comes to mind. You wouldn't want to drink that.
No. But as a part of a whole, I find that it provides a really great balance.
Yeah, I feel like it's not as overpowering as this, but I had a while back. This might sound strange, but I had a snack that was that I bought thinking this would be interesting. It was pickle flavored peanuts that had like pickle on the outside.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but nowhere near as overpowering of the pickle. Yeah. Because you also have some of the nuttiness with that. So I kind of think of those kind of combination of flavors. They're not bad, but yeah. Okay.
So we'll get into the cask strength. Let me pour you up here. Again, for those at home, the big difference here is just that this is cask strength and the other one is not. am really happy that this is a lower proof expression because these bottles can go up. I've seen them as high as 128 proof is the highest I've seen. That's honestly just from a picture on Instagram. The highest I've seen in person was 127.9, so basically 128. That was at a different QFC in our area. So I'm just curious, are they just going to be like twins? If they are like twins, are they going to be like identical twins, fraternal twins? I'm guessing more fraternal twins. I don't know, which is what is kind of exciting about it. But to what degree is it going to make a difference? And yes, I got a sealed deal for it. Yeah. But is it worth the extra $5? Does it matter? Does it not matter? Do I have a strong preference? That's kind of what I'm curious of, because I'll tell you this much. These are not going to be the last of their kind that are going to be on my shelf.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
All right.
Do you notice anything different in the color?
I was trying to think about that too. Honestly, like it's a like if I'll show it a little closer here too.
Yeah.
I actually think, which this is going to sound kind of crazy. I actually think that this one it's a little bit, or is it going to sound crazy? Yours is the slightly higher proof. Never mind.
Slightly higher proof.
Okay,
yes.
Then it makes sense. This one looks darker, at least slightly noticeably.
I would agree with that, but at the same time, if you're like, I'm not seeing it, like, what color is the dress, right? That's a tricky thing. Is it blue, is it silver, whatever it is? There's moments where I blink, and I'm like, no, they're the same. And I'm like, wait, nope, the cast strength's a little darker.
Yeah.
I think we're tracking on that, which is interesting. Okay.
Yep. I would say it's a touch darker. And I actually thought it was going to be interesting because in my head, for whatever reason, I got the two proofs backwards, which, given they're not very far apart, to be fair.
Tomato, honestly.
I got them a little bit backwards, so I thought it was shocking that the darker one was the lower proof, but that's not the case. Yeah. The slightly higher proof, I think, it's a little bit darker, but nothing crazy.
So this one presents more caramel to me.
For sure.
Not as much vanilla bean, but it's there. I for a second I was like, this is going to be so much smoother than the other one, because I was comparing how that one tasted to how this one is smelling. But I remember that one smelt a little different than, a little less intense on the nose, right?
Yeah.
The palate is where the truth comes to the light. But I'd say on the nose, at least initially.
And this bottle's open.
This bottle's been open.
Yeah. Not for a crazy long time.
No.
But for a little bit.
Yeah. And higher proof stuff, there is a sweet spot where it's been oxidized the right amount, enough air has been in it.
Still to this day, I advocate that the smoothest whiskey I ever had was a Scotch poured. I was at a distillery in Scotland.
Okay.
I could probably find out which one exactly. But I can't remember.
Jealous, but continue with the story.
Yeah, of course. But they pulled it right out of the barrel in front of us.
Oh, they used a little
they used it. They did it right in front of us and then poured us glasses. And that was probably it's probably around 120, 130 proof because it's fresh out of the barrel. That was the smoothest Scotch I've ever had. Wow. If you would have told me that was 70 proof, I would have believed you. That's how smooth it was. It was crazy.
And I'm not a distiller. I'm a bourbon drinker / lover. And I don't know this to be true, but part of me thinks that is one of the marks of a great distiller.
Yes.
Right? When something drinks below its proof and it's high proof, part of me thinks that has to be job well done.
Yep. It has to be, because anyone can make alcohol.
Right.
Alcohol's not hard to make. You can make an alcohol that punches you in the face.
Right.
But if it has that punch you in face level of alcohol but tastes super smooth, that's I would agree, that's a job well done by a distiller.
Yes. I'm ready to put this on my tongue.
Let's do it.
Interesting. The things I smelt on the nose, caramel, yes, more vanilla. Ooh.
I think that has more vanilla. I think that the higher proof has more vanilla than this one.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily see that on the nose, but on the palate, the vanilla really picks up. In the very, very beginning, I got bubblegum. Like really? Big League Chew The pink, hard as mess. It's gonna work out your jaw muscles when you chew it. Bubble gum. You know which one I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you do too. That kind of bubble gum. The way it smells is how that tastes at the very, very beginning, which I was not expecting. I was not expecting that. I would say, and this is probably because we're drinking this second, right? Especially comparing the two. Like if I had this as the first sip of the day, I might have had the same, oh my gosh, my mouth is on fire, feel that I had with this. This one felt a lot softer initially.
It did.
And then the alcohol came to say hello on the back end, but I swirled around in my mouth for probably about 5-10 seconds before I felt that. Whereas with the other one, it was like right away.
It was right away, yep.
To your point, it could be that this one's a fresh crack though.
Yeah, it could be a fresh crack. And also too, if you are doing, this is our first kind of really close to barrel proof kind of stuff that we're going into.
Yes.
Or barrel proof stuff that we're going into.
Yeah.
If you start drinking bourbon at the start of whenever you're going to drink bourbon for the day.
Yeah.
If you do a barrel proof, the first one's going to hit you a little hard.
100%.
But after that, you get used to it. Especially, you may not get used to it if you're not used to that. But if you do enjoy bourbon and you drink and consume bourbon for a while, after you have your first barrel proof, after that, the next barrel proof doesn't hit as hard in terms of the alcohol. So that could be part of it too. Full disclaimer.
Yes. I would say I did get the dill again, but I'm not mad at it. And what I'd say is with this one, let me see here. So when I grew up, oftentimes I was getting myself ready to get out the door for school, and breakfast was on me. One of the few things I learned how to do at a young age was to put a piece of bread in the toaster, toast it, put some butter on it, and sprinkle some cinnamon and sugar on it.
Cinnamon sugar.
Yeah.
Yep.
My dad would put
That's
some
a
cinnamon,
classic.
some sugar. He'd finger stir that mess, and it was just right next to the toaster. I'd come and just sprinkle me, and that's what I had for breakfast. I'm getting that on here.
That's like a poor man's Pop-Tart.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And we were probably the poor man of the neighborhood.
Having the Pop-Tarts.
You know?
Yeah.
Did grow up in a mobile home part of life. That's okay though.
Yep, that's okay.
Not a problem. Cause look at me now. I'm drinking bourbon on YouTube. This is nice.
Yep, this is the dream.
Yeah, this is the dream.
And even if you guys aren't subscribed and not watching, we don't care, because guess what? We're still having a great time.
That's right. But I would say some cinnamon, sugar with just a little burnt toast action. And there's a little velvetyness without the water added that just reminds me holistically of cinnamon sugar toast.
Yeah. I will say, if you compare the two.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna
go back to the other one. This is the other one. This is the 120. I mean, that's nice too, though, man.
They're both good. I would buy both of them.
Like, maybe we were gonna say this at the end, but honestly, if you were to ask me which one would I buy, the answer would be yes.
Yeah. If I had to honestly, if you had the classic scenario, someone is holding a gun to your head.
Yes.
Which one do you choose?
Yeah.
I will be honest. I will choose this one.
Okay.
I will choose this one, the Cask strength. This sounds dramatic, I think, when I say this.
Okay.
I can taste that this was watered down.
All right.
If you compare the two side by side.
Yeah.
Not like a lot. Not like watered down to this is bad and it's garbage. This is delicious still. What I will say I am jealous is that you paid less for that bottle than I did for this bottle. And I like that one better.
Right.
But
and I bourbon hunt, you probably bourbon hunt. And I think oftentimes that gets equated to looking for hard to find allocated bottles.
Yeah.
Right? We did a review of the Weller 12 year. I hunted for that for 2 years. However, there is an element of bourbon hunting that is just being a smart, savvy consumer. Yep. And Knob Creek gives you a great opportunity to do that because their pricing is just weird. Yep. I had a barrel pick 9-year single barrel like this, but it was handpicked by a store in Wyoming of all places. It was $31.99. They have 4% sales tax. I walked out with paying less than $33 for it.
Crazy.
Weird. If you're a Costco member, I bet you'll find Knob Creek on their shelf for $19.99. That's cheaper than this.
That's crazy.
That's watered down to 100 proof. So, like, if you're just diligent and you price compare, you go to different stores and just keep mental notes, keep notes on your cell phone, whatever it is. But like at this store, this ball is this price. At this store, this ball is this price. Every once in a while, Knob Creek will throw you a curveball, and shoot, I could get 2 of these
for the same price that I paid for that. Yep.
And what's it cost me? Gas, money, and time.
Yep.
Right? All I'm doing is collecting information.
Yep.
So, just a thought. I would choose the cask strength as well. Again, this one was a barrel pick. This one was not a barrel pick, so it could just be some variants. They're both single barrels too, so maybe there's a single barrel of this that's a banger that would beat this out.
Yep. That could also. That's also. It's so varied.
Yes.
It's so varied. There's so many different variations that could happen. And again, like you said, we could go find a different one of these, and it could beat that one out.
Yeah.
Every day of the week. We just don't know. This is just the one we have.
Yes. For those of you who've had Bookers before, I will say this. One of the thoughts, it wasn't a tasting note per se, but a thought that came to mind on this one that did not come to mind on this one was, this is poor man's Bookers for a quarter of the price.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I thought poor man Bookers. Bookers is much better. I think it's worth the additional price if you're comparing it $70 to $90.
Yep.
But if you're telling me I could get, darn nearly 3 of these for one Bookers, and I'm starting my shelf early or early on in my bourbon collecting, I might do that, right? Or get one to be a super superior cocktail mixer, because this is going to make a mean cocktail.
Oh, for sure.
And at $33, you don't feel bad about that.
You don't feel bad about it.
Right? For $70, you might feel bad.
You might, yeah, because you're making cocktails out of a $70 bourbon. But that one you could, as long as you're not mixing with Coke.
Oh gosh, please don't do that.
Please.
That's what Jack Daniel's number 7 for, and it's
Yeah,
a great.
and it's great. It's designed to go with Coke if you just
Yeah.
if that's what you want.
Yeah.
If you just want a little bit of alcohol with a lot of sugar, then mix some Jack Daniels with Coke.
You know what you do? Don't let our snobbery get in the way. You're having fun. I just may never talk to you again if you mix Pappy Van Winkle with Coke. That's
You
all
can't
I'm
do
saying.
it. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you find any bottle of Booker's, I would pay $100 for any bottle of Booker's, even one I knew that wasn't as good as the others.
Yeah, and not everyone can find Bookers, but if you
It's hard to find.
If you can find this, shoot it, and you're like, I like that, and then you see Bookers for maybe more than MSRP, but you remember, hey, that was really good, and that's a junior version of what Bookers is, then maybe you're inclined to pay a little more. I'm not saying to do that, but it'll help you be as educated and informed as possible in your purchasing decisions.
That's our goal. We're not trying to sell you bourbon. It's not our goal. We just want you to know what you're buying. That's our goal right there, I think, is a good way to put it.
So you'd prefer the cask strength?
Yeah, so I think we both agreed
Yes.
between the two. If we hold them both up, this is the one that kind of won out. This is the one. If we had it gun to our head, but
Yeah.
especially for the price paid for that, $32, or was it $32, $33?
$32.99.
$32.99, yeah, so $33. If for $33, I'd buy either bottle.
Yes.
100%, every time.
But you think $65 versus $7, it's worth additional $5 to go with the cask strength.
I would agree with that. If you had to get, if these are both MSRP,
Yeah.
I would agree that $5 more for this one compared to this one, because the MSRP for this one is 70 versus 65.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And if I have one last thought on it, is one of the things that's exciting is that this one, I was excited to do this video for it because of how similar it was in proof points. And it was really just going to highlight what is the difference of water, no water, right?
Yep.
These, though, can go up to as many as 10 years. I've seen one that was 10 years old to the date.
Okay.
So now you're talking about 10-year bourbon versus a 9-year bourbon. Still $70, and you can get up to like almost 7 proof points more than this. So if you got one that was on the higher age side with a higher proof side, the difference between the two could possibly even grow even more.
Yep, 100%. Yep, I agree. Yeah, especially, I mean, even MSRP for these bottles at, a 9-year or 10-year, 9 to 10-year bourbon. I mean, it's a great deal. So I would say it's worthwhile.
Bravo, Knob Creek.
Yep, bravo, Knob Creek. You've done it. Despite your weird pricing, you've done it. Despite confusing me of why I paid twice as much for a bottle, it's not quite as good. Still good, but not quite as good. But yeah, I think that's it for this one.
That's what I got.
I think that's what I got too. But now, if you guys enjoyed, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on your screen to join the Whiskey Cops channel, and we will see you guys on the next video. We got a lot of good stuff planned for you.